But hey, our main focus here is Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. Let's start with Becky Lynch first on the takeaway. She had a lot to say in reference towards Bianca Belair. As you know, she attacked her and Bianca wasn't able to come on the show. But she had a lot to say, Hector. Bring us up to speed, man. Let's summarize everything that she had mentioned on the show.
Okay, well, see, first off, I was just kind of questioning her outfit and those sun visor glasses or whatever she was wearing. That was like so 80s, I guess it was. I don't know what she was trying to bring back, but it seemed like Becky Lynch had a lot to say. Okay, and what caught my ear was, from a Christian standpoint, who believes in God. Okay, she started off with a question, which is actually scripture in the Bible. Okay. And she quoted from the King James Bible, but she used it as a question, okay, for the segment, which I can understand why. She said, "For what shall profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?" That's in the Bible, Mark chapter 8, verse 36. And to break that down in English, and what do you benefit if you gain the whole world but lose your own soul? So she's pretty much telling us here that she had to ask this question, and she found her answer 8 months ago at SummerSlam when she defeated Bianca Belair within seconds to get that title. Okay. She goes on to talk about how, for 15 months, prior, she's been she held that belt and she had to give it up by force. She had to submit that title because nobody could beat her for it. Now, here we are another week. First, it was Edge last week. Now this week, she's over here talking about that the title is everything to her. That the title is her, and what she is, Becky Lynch, that she is power, she is glory, and she's the prize at the top of the mountain. Okay, to me, that's again in biblical terms talking about she is God all of a sudden. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting out of this from this woman here. Then she talks about an eye for an eye. She is going after Bianca Belair because of the hair whipping that she got. We saw the marks on her. So she's figured an eye for an eye. Now, granted, I do admit that is in the Bible. It's in the Old Testament, in the book of Exodus. But that was during a time when, there was just a lot of chaos. So there was a lot of, you do something wrong to me, I'm going to do something wrong to you. Okay. But she didn't continue on. She just kept the negativity part of it. There is a positive part of an eye for an eye in scripture, but we're not going to get into that. We're just trying to stick to what she's talking about here. She is really wanting to rip the soul out of Bianca Belair. You see, because she already said that she sold her soul for that title. Okay. And when in biblical terms, when you talk about, gaining the whole world, you talking about money, fame, pleasure, power, prestige. To her, that's what that title stands for. And she's willing to give up everything, which is her soul, to have that title. Like that title means everything to her. Understanding that it's only temporary, but she doesn't care. You see? And I feel like she was putting words in Bianca Belair's mouth towards the end of her promo when she said that if I take things that matter the most to you, which is your hair, your crown, and your identity, then you'll lose a piece of your soul. I truly don't believe that's Bianca Belair's, I don't think that's how she feels, that's everything to her. You see what I'm saying? She wants to be champion, okay, because she says she is the EST. But she does understand that is bigger than her. But to me, Becky Lynch thinks that she is bigger than the title, and that it has to be part of her so she could be on the epitome of that mountain. You see what I'm saying? So she got a little biblical there, and then to me, I know that she's Irish. And when I did a little background check, I did the 80% of the Irish population is Roman Catholic. So to me, she went a little biblical on us last night, but she has a strong message for Bianca Belair that she's out to destroy her and take everything from her at WrestleMania if she shows up, which I know she will show up.
Well, so I think she'll show up next week. I really do. But when you're mentioning the stuff that she said about the biblical stuff, and big shout out to the SCW Wrestling Channel. Hello, Steve. Thank you for supporting our show. And once again, thank you for the video that you posted earlier today of the greatest WrestleMania of all time. Becky Lynch getting the scriptures out of the Bible, and you mentioning like she thinks she's God. And here we go again, because we talked about this last week with Edge. We also talked about it initially that Roman Reigns was saying on SmackDown he is on God mode when after he defeated Edge and Daniel Bryan, right? And the triple threat match for the belt. There's a lot of things going on in WWE that's everything's more geared to now the Bible. And I noticed that, and it's like it's growing now. Okay. And I'm just curious to see at what angle or which direction WWE is going. What are the writers doing? Okay. Because they got to be very careful at how they perceive this,
Right.
because if they get carried away, you're going to get a lot of attention, and it's not from the fans. It's going to be those that are really truly to the Bible, to all the churchgoers. You know what I mean? But another thing that I heard that you mentioned was eye for an eye, something that we've heard of before with Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins, right? Eye for eye, but they managed to somehow surgically repair, and now Rey Mysterio can see everything now. All right, go figure. I guess some part wrestling is kind of fake, right? Don't bust Hector's bubble when it comes to his wrestling fake. But
scripted.
It's scripted, my bad, scripted. All right. Um Even Supersonic X says that's a very interesting promo from Big. Like that's some biblical shit right there. Yeah, absolutely. But for some that understands the Bible could probably understand it more, right? But now we'll just change it to the sports entertainment part. Okay. What does that mean for Bianca Belair? Eye for the eye and everything else, right? Okay, so technically they're even, you right? Bianca Belair smashed Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch smashed Bianca Belair. Now we have a stalemate. Now it has to be settled in the ring. And what better than being at the grandest stage of them all? Who has the advantage here? Frank, who you think has the advantage?
I think I was gonna say Becky Lynch, but no, not Becky Lynch.
Bianca
EST.
Belair?
Yeah. I think Bianca Belair has the advantage because she's hungry. She's been chasing this. She's been chasing Becky Lynch, and she wants her revenge.
Well, they all want their revenge, right?
But
I mean, I know she has her revenge for what happened at SummerSlam. I got that.
She wants to avenge that. What was it? That 6-second loss, 8-second loss, whatever it was. Okay, she wants to avenge that. So I think Bianca Belair is really, really hungry to get back that title from Becky Lynch.
Okay. But now you got a person like Becky Lynch, like Hector said, she'll do whatever she can. She sold her soul and everything else. I mean, that's got to be very exhausting. Think about it. Don't you think it's exhausting when the only thing you care about is one item and you don't care about everything else? That means to tell me you'll lose everything around you just to keep one item.
It's the meaning of that item for her.
Look at The Rock. Does The Rock need a title to say that he's the people's champ? You know what I mean?
But
Did the Undertaker needed to be a 20-time champion? No. You know what I mean?
But that's fine. But that's just like me saying, hey, look, you know what? I will get rid of this before I get rid of my guns. I get rid of my computer before I get rid of my guns. Because why? That means more to me.
You will hold more on your guns than food? Will you starve just to keep one item? Is that what you're telling me?
Starve? No, I won't starve. I always have something to eat.
Just saying. I'm just saying, but that's the perception that Becky Lynch is saying right now.
Well, hey, I guess she's gonna starve.
Okay, really, so I'm gonna. Okay, without trying to put this in biblical terms, okay, because this is a wrestling show. When she said that she's going to lose her, she was willing to lose her soul over and over and over and twice on Mondays for that title. It's almost as if she is separating herself from everyone just to be alone with that title, thinking that that title is going to bring her fulfillment, joy, laughter, happiness, excitement. But it's just an object that is just there, you see. And when she gets bored of it, because she will sooner or later, because it's a temporary thing, what happens to everything else and everyone else around her who she separated herself from? You see, because she sold her soul. You see, because to me, honestly, I think Charlotte Flair is the better women's champion, and she never mentioned that she sold her soul. She just proves it day in and day out, and just going out there and winning title after title. But for Becky Lynch, she has to mention, well, nobody's beaten me in the last 3 years for this title. I had to give this up, but this means everything to me. That just tells me that she is too connected to one solid object, which cannot bring her happiness. Well, I'm sorry, it could bring her happiness, but it won't bring her joy. There's a difference between that happiness and joy. And she, at the end of the day, she's going to be lonely.
And you know what? That could also factor into maybe a storyline with her and Seth Rollins. Okay. I could see that happening, because now let's flip the script. Let's focus on Seth Rollins real quick, because Seth Rollins is desperately trying to get into WrestleMania. Okay. Now, what's your take on that? What do you see? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, at the beginning, I'm saying, you know what? This guy's like John Cena right now. John Cena tried to get into WrestleMania. He couldn't do it. He tried to lure in The Undertaker, and it wasn't until actually at WrestleMania where The Undertaker called him out with the bell, right? And then all of a sudden he's running backstage to get changed and everything else, and boom. Then he didn't last that long. It was a quickie. All right. So what's up with Seth Rollins? And again, I hate to talk about the rumors, but they're saying that Cody Rhodes might be his next opponent. Cody Rhodes signed for WWE. You know, I'm just a person when I'd be like, you know what? If it happens, I'll see it on TV, man. Really.
You know, WrestleMania is WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? The business itself is always going to be bigger than the superstars. Okay. And so do WrestleMania need Seth Rollins? No. Okay. Would it benefit if it has Seth Rollins? Yes, it will, because Seth Rollins is a hot ticket. Okay. But right now we know that Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar is the bigger ticket. Okay. So he's almost being pushed to like a somewhat of a mid card, not the main event. But yeah, you're right. He's forcing the issue because he feels like WrestleMania needs him. Like he's bigger than the event itself. And I think that's what Becky Lynch is trying to say too, in so many words. But no, that's not the case. I'm sorry, if you're champion or not, I don't care. The event itself is bigger than you, and it always will be. And he's forcing the issue as if to think that, I don't know, he's going to be less of a person if he doesn't appear on the WrestleMania card. Like people are going to talk about him. Oh, you didn't make it. Who are you now? You know, I mean, so what? If you don't make it, you don't make it. Just try again next year.
Yeah, but you got to realize that for majority of these wrestlers, WrestleMania is the event. You know, is like the Super Bowl for them. So they want to be in it. You know,
okay, well, not everybody goes to the Super Bowl. Not everybody goes to the Super Bowl. Not everybody goes to the World Series. But everybody plays for it, and not everybody qualifies. So if Seth Rollins doesn't qualify, which I don't agree, because you're giving slots to celebrities that I feel that shouldn't be there because they're not trained for this kind of stuff. I agree with that. But at the end of the day, if Seth Rollins would have done his job last week or the week before that, win the tag team titles or beat Kevin Owens or would have beaten AJ Styles, he had 3 opportunities. How many more?
But it wasn't his fault he lost to AJ Styles.
Say again?
But
it wasn't his fault he lost to AJ Styles.
But what about the other 2 times? He could have won the tag team titles, but it's like Kevin Owens took over the thing, the whole tag team match. So I think, you know, to me, Seth Rollins is pushing the issue too hard, too much, and he keeps failing at it. He's trying a little too much instead of letting it just happen.
Well, it just seems like, and look, the question is, will Seth Rollins wrestle at WrestleMania 38? Absolutely. Yes. I think he will wrestle.
Yeah.